I sounded.
Okay, I'm back to school, this is open campus. This is, I should slap it open-handed. Tough life, I told her motto, she need lower standards. Asked her if she had a twin, I feel like Joey Tanner. Big spender, Kris Jenner, I promote the family. Kardashian, see the Benzo, she like, oh, it's happening. Think she called me, cause she never knew her daddy. And my all black, Rhythm Nation, Janet, boy, don't make me Jackson. Bodily, was underground. Frontin' like a ride with the mob. Why shouldn't I charge me, myself, and I? Play the odds, a yes man, it's just a bobblehead doll. Holler them all. Strutting like Pac out the court, hop out the Porsche. Shake that, got that on menu, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. I gave it up, I'm talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Marshawn Lynch. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 11. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Locke. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. They come into top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Now Locke. He's going to fight. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for Indy. And even 40 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. And that one's blocked, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. So out come the... They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first down throw. Locke escaping the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
On first, here's Washington. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think got to be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Carr gets to Lynch on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And that's going to make it fourth down. Tavecchio puts this one through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off of play action, Luck. And that's complete. It's Watson. 23 yards on the play. On first down, Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 24.
12.
On 1st and 10, Luck. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Jones. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. The give is to Jones. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Ronald Jones becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Drive that time. 11 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mario Edwards in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And caught left side, Olsen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
6-18.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Broken tackle there for Nelson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm
fantasy
going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big play there for Indy. 79 yards. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times it's like a ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He completes it to Bryant. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
On second down, Lynch. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. On third down, Carr. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Mario Edwards in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. 2nd and 10, Luck again. And the Raiders have got him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, he's been the guy. Already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Following the penalty, Lynch might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the 2nd quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the 1st quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This fielded at the 2. And an alley to run. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Luck on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Justin Watson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They start the drive with Lynch. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Carr to throw on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And he's brought down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Washington on 3rd and short. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. To throw on second down. Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
Well, I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a first down. But I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
A shotgun snap for Love. He's going to fire one deep over them. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Watson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
Indianapolis will be kicking off. Number 15.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Monday, down. Blue 80.
The final shot here before half for Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with.
He's got a man complete. Luck to Hilton on the hook up there. 41 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Right at the 40. From the gun, here's Love. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tahir Whitehead. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride. When they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean, they want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Get down! Blue 80!
On the draw, Harvey's to Washington. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after. Quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll go again to Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. After the run, Luck going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Out of the gun, Luck. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Hey, 4 down.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
59's Mike, check, 59.
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts have got it on cruise control.
Ebron never really found his footing in Detroit despite being a first-round draft choice with just 11 touchdown catches in 4 years. But the Colts think he's got the potential to really help their passing game, especially in the red zone, and he delivers right there.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Even. 4 down. Even. Down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Carr to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And here's a... catch taken at about the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Looking deep for Hilton. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Throwing on third down. Luck. He's going to go for a big play. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Watson, his third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Colts just continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Powers through. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. 4-time Pro Bowler Derek Johnson. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And they have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 3rd down, here's Washington. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Watson, 83 yards. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. And they better put that ball to the side because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate, we knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would culminate in breaking this all-time record?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And the Colts getting ready to go. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And now running right through it. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch. But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten from the word go.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that?
He's got a man complete. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. A gain of 32 that time. On 1st down, Locke. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards.
675.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Justin Watson from 21 yards away. And the Colts just continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter knows whatever exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now Carr. And a big as he's taken down. Margus Hunt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And caught left side, Olsen. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded inside the 5. So possession goes over here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke looking deep for Hilton. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Colts going on 4th. It's Locke. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Hey. Monday, down.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to eat just a bit into this sizable deficit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs. I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Right, 674. 3 down.
Luck gonna throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
We're wrong.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Love. And the Raiders have got him. Al Woods forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. To throw on 2nd down is Love. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. You've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Carr to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Get set. You 188.
Throwing on third and long. Carr hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, the win here means it'll be a 7-1.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like them in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats kick me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, big Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on me, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, you about tag on, I got it in the bag, man, I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general true, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that, I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the, I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up, it was like them in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it, I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, rats keep me up on these foes. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. You can hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new ray alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on these foes. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that check to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy, but later I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get defining like this Jerry Springer. All of my sit the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they on wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. And up, give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap, got a big bands like Sasquatch. Every time you shit, with a no, it's top
I got that
notch.
check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I died. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with to groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it for it. FaceTime before I get to the club, look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Lil' watch y'all like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the crit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah, no it ain't, they ain't talking cash, so I did the race. NASCAR with the pace, feed you water on the chain. Get no love where I ain't from. When I'm on the beat, I make it thump. I need that bread like every crumb. Came up from nothing, made it some. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Ay, 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 ay.
Okay. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You in a no chance, you go. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, like judo. You act too kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo.
Pocket too big, they sumo. Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you Curry get the flame calling Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder. Hold up. I just want the knowledge and the power. Hold up. Why the looking at me sour? Eat it like chowder. Rada. Never gave a about $1. More money mean more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn. Cause I got it on my own with no help, man. Got a daddy, that's it, in myself, man. They need a new hope. Deal of a new. Giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be E.T.? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket too big, Rakesh.
Pocket too big, they sumo. Pulling hard like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pocket too big, they sumo. 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 Pull hard like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo.
Pocket too big, they sumo. Money doubles up like a duo. I just want the yen and the euro. The game up and leave my kids like judo. Money come around like a Hoover. Making free bands in the future. Pockets on the look super. Bills on me blue slot Cooper. Money on my mind just like a tumor. Spread my money out and then I call it a rumor. Curry the is on the move, no Uber. People try to block it, shine like lunar. Eclipse when I take all my chips. When I pop off the like hummus, C-dip. Acrobat with the I'ma flip. Money flow like a battleship. Diddy the new hope. Deal of a new. Giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be E.T.? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pockets too big, Rakesh.
Pockets too big, they sumo. Pulling hard like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pockets too big, they sumo. 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 Pull hard like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too kudo. You and her no Chad Hugo. Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Need a Uber right now. Right now. Need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh.